Of course, all their friends come out of the woodwork at this time.
Sorry, dealer.
There you go, 1.36 million euros, the money they're playing for, plus the trophy, of course, that one of these three will list. Possibly in a few hours' time, possibly in a few minutes' time, and we don't know how long this is going to go on for. Can all be over in one hand, remember.
Kitai looks straight at his chips again. Clearly going to play this pot. Looks like he's only going for some of his chips, though. I'm not sure that's wise. Unless he has a premium hand, of course. To make a standard raise, it's almost inviting someone to say, all right, I'm coming right over the top of this.
And when a player who is relatively short-stacked doesn't move all in, makes a standard size raise, other players do often sniff a trap, don't they?
220,000.
That's very true. I mean, Ruthenberg looking at his stack, wondering if he's priced in to maybe look at a flop. In fact, he definitely is priced in if he wants to be, but he takes a disciplined approach and folds. Kitai wins that one. I would guess that was a hand Kitai wanted a little bit of action from. I think you're right, James.
A couple of emails. Jerry from the UK says, my view is the chip leader has the luck of the Irish and the rub of the green. And Matt in Sweden says, I'm cheering for Fintan Gavin because he gives this average guy kind of feeling. Makes you think you could be there yourself. I don't think he's stable enough to win. I bet he'll lose 2 big pots, will shove with the worst hand, and will probably finish third. Well, I've been admiring his play over the course of this evening.
He's going to pass.
And as I was saying to Jason Mercier, you know, just because he is a nice guy, likes a bit of a laugh at the table, doesn't mean that he's going to make donkey plays.
Some of this is table image as well. This is the image that he's been wanting to portray at the table and has used it to his advantage. But he simply hasn't really made a mistake throughout the whole final table. I thought the same as your poster there. I thought that at some point he would make a silly error. Hasn't happened. Very impressive. But it's not over yet.
Yeah, we will continue until there is just one player left at this table with all the chips. The first champion of this, the 5th season of the EPT.
He's going to pass over to Davidi in the small blind. He'll pass as well.
And he will pass. Alex, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your work over the course of the last few levels of play. Benjamin Kang stepping into the commentary booth now here at EPT Live. And Benjamin, as I mentioned a short while ago, a fellow Shooting Stars player alongside Sebastian Ruthenberg. And we saw you a short while ago, Benjamin, talking to Kara, rooting on your fellow countryman.
Of course, we have to. He's our team member and good friend. We were always there in all his big wins. 3rd place EPT Dortmund, in the bracelet in Vegas that he won this year. We're happy to be here now. You know what, the funny thing is that the dealer is an Austrian. He knows all of us, and he was swallowing hard when he dealt against the 10s of Sebastian because he knew if he's going to bust that one, well, we're going to beat him up so bad.
What's Kitai doing here?
Yeah, I was talking to Jan, and we were wondering with what hands he's raising and not pushing. Obviously, he should have some more chips now because we couldn't see his chips clearly. So we don't have an accurate count. Is this count correct that we have here on display?
Oh yeah, Kitai playing about 1 million, just over 1 million in chips, raising it up to 225,000. It's the 2nd time he's done this.
Yeah.
Sebastian's going to pass.
I said to Jan, I think the reason is if he has more than 900,000 chips, that he wants to be able to get away from the hand, even though the pot odds would be great to make a call in, but he just wants to have a chance to get away from a hand. Personally, I also, as the player, as I know him, if he has a really strong hand, he's probably going to try to get something out of it. I don't know. Some people think it shows strength when you make a raise and do not move all in.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite is true a lot of times, you know.
I think they belong to the last player.
But now, okay, he has 1.3 million chips.
So it's losing him.
Yeah, he and Sebastian are actually pretty equal, aren't they? Both on about 1.3 million. Sebastian with a slight advantage, but
He announces raise.
Yeah, he was down to like 900,000. Now he's back up to 1.3.
Vincent Gavin continues to dominate the table.
I'll get Sebastian to fold the small blind. And
Now
Davide
we're
will
talking
fold
to
the big
Sebastian. He
blind.
was so
Vin's
happy
gonna
about
take
the
this
situation that usually Finton was battling it out with Davide Kitai in the beginning, and Sebastian sitting there as a short stack. It's a perfect situation for him, just watching these two fighting with each other. He was trying to stay out of that. That's why he didn't raise his button as many times as you would expect him to do, because he was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just give these guys a chance to get it on with each other. So he stood out of that. I think otherwise he would have raised the button a lot more if Davide would have not battled with Gavin.
The antes are in, the blinds are posted. This is hand 150 of our final table here in Barcelona.
Sebastian's going to start us off on the button.
Sebastian's first to speak. He's put his hood up. What does that signify, Benjamin?
Well, he feels kind of comfortable with his hood on.
He's going to raise to 200,000. Davide's going to pass in the small. Ben's going to pass in the big.
He did that like when he was playing heads up with Chris Ferguson at the World Series, winning his bracelet. He was there sitting with his hood, and he just feels comfortable. He doesn't actually. He's one of the guys. He doesn't like media exposure. He doesn't like to give interviews. You know, one of these guys who just basically wants to be kept at peace and just play poker.
So were you there at the Rio, Benjamin, when he took down that event, the 7-card stud high-low?
Unfortunately, that night I was not there. I was ill at home, and then we tried to get a cab once we knew that he was down to 4 players. And I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but in Vegas, if you want to get a cab, you come out to your house, and if you're not staying at a hotel, it's impossible. We waited for 2.5 hours, nobody showed up. So.
Going to start us off with Davide on the button.
And now he was wearing Jan Heitmann's glasses. And we did that just now because he wore Jan Heitmann's glasses when he won the bracelet. So they switched over the glasses for good luck.
Davide passes.
All poker players are superstitious, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
Sebastian checks his options.
whatever gives you an edge, you know.
See the flop?
You're trying to trap me, Sebastian.
That flop is 5-6-3
It's an
rainbow.
unraised
5 of
pot,
diamonds,
blind
6
on
of hearts,
blind.
3 of clubs.
Vincent Gavin
Ben's
checking.
gonna check over to Sebastian.
Nice
I
flop.
was thinking about
Okay.
betting, and that was enough for
Vincent
Bet, and he
folds.
He didn't even
Sebastian's
bet.
going to take the pot.
It's like, I think
Really nice flop.
Finton Gavin's doing the right thing. I mean, he's been hitting the boards usually, and so he just stays out of those he
We're gonna
doesn't
play
hit.
one more hand at this
Doesn't
level,
even
then
try
we're
to
gonna take a
bully
10-minute
around.
break.
Neil just confirming to the players that they're about to play the last hand at this level. Then there's going to be a 10-minute break, and when they come back from that break, the blinds go up to 50 and 100,000. And the pressure is really going to be on, especially when they will be in one of those 2 blinds 2/3 of the time.
Finton's going to start us off.
Finn's on the button. Does the Irishman like what he sees? Nope.
He's going to pass over to Sebastian.
Raise all in.
All in.
Just raise all in from the small blind.
Ty looks at his hand and says,
Davide's going to pass.
He's going to
Sebastian
pass
takes
that
it
one.
down.
Good.
That's gonna
so
do
the
it for
players are
this
going to
level.
go on a 10-minute break. We're going to do the same.
Back in 10,
And then
everybody.
3-handed play.
Same
will
players, but new
resume.
blinds.
These are the 3 players in contention for the title and the 1.36 million euros. Davide Kitai of Belgium, Sebastian Ruthenberg from Germany, and Finton Gavin from Ireland. He's got the chip lead at the moment. But in No Limit Hold'em, anything can happen. Join us in around 10 minutes' time when the action continues here in Barcelona on the European Poker Tour.
I recognize your voice now that
Life is all about challenges and how we face them, the plays we make, the risks we take. That's why I love poker. It's where I get my buzz. And compared to that, this is just a walk in the park. With more free-to-enter tournaments than any other site, challenge yourself at PokerStars.com.